Hi everybody, welcome back to a new episode of the new series Blues Guitar Essentials. My name is Davide Pannozzo. I'm a blues guitar artist. I have 5 albums under my name, and also I have the founder of GUITARlab, a modern blues guitar academy online. And I decided to create this new series dedicated to blues guitar. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about camping, soloing, theory, harmony, and all the stuff that I think are important to master this beautiful instrument and this genre. Okay, and in the previous class, by the way, if you haven't done it already, you can also watch the recording of them. Okay, so go on my YouTube channel and you can find the previous class, and we discussed about fundamentals, guitar techniques, but also we discussed about blues chord progressions, but also blues scales, and we talked about how to mix minor, major pentatonic, and how to map out the fretboard using the minor pentatonic. So a lot of stuff already, okay? So I'm very happy to keep going with this series. I'm receiving a lot of love from you guys, and really appreciate that. In the meantime, I get rid of the reverb and on the vocal. And today we're gonna be talking about how to create our own licks. Okay, how to build our vocal on the guitar. Okay, our voice on the guitar. Okay, because that is very important to get the right language on this genre, on the guitar, on the improvisation. Okay, so how to put everything together. Okay, the stuff that we discussed already, and how once again to create our own language, our own style in a way. Okay, which is very important. Okay. But once again, if you haven't done it already, please go back and check the previous classes, okay? And this series is going to be a live course on my YouTube channel, and I'll try to keep it up with the schedule. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, okay? 10:30 Eastern Time. But if you're watching outside the US, there's going to be 4:30 p.m. in Europe, in Rome time, okay? So if you have any questions, okay, just write a comment in the chat. I can see Alberto. Ciao Alberto. And once again, it's gonna be all in English, okay? But if you have any questions, just write a comment below. Okay, so let's dive into it, okay? So in the previous class, on the third class, we discussed about minor pentatonic and major pentatonic, okay? And we discussed how to mix them together, right? But how to actually create licks from that, okay? Because as I always said, it's never a matter of knowing many scales, okay? So it's always a matter of try to put everything together in the most musical way, okay, which is a very important thing, okay? So many times I hear students of mine, especially when they started study with me, and they believe that the more scales they know, the better they will play, which is not, basically, okay? So today we find out how to actually create our own licks, okay, with the few stuff that we know already, okay? So let's dive into it, okay? So we all know the minor pentatonic scale, okay? So we've been working on G, right? On G7 in the previous classes, and we said that when we are playing on a G dominant 7th, okay, which is, by the way, the 5th degree of major scale, we always have to think about bending the minor third up to the major, okay, to to stay within the chord structure, okay, because the chord has the major third, right? So we always need to bend that minor third up to the major one, okay? And that is a rule that you want to follow every time, okay? Especially when you play in a blues genre, okay? But first thing first, if I play just the scale without any nuance, any element that we discussed before, like bending, slide, vibrato, hammer-on, pull-offs, okay? So it's gonna be sounding like this, right? Right? It's not musical at all. And also, I'm not giving it a blues sound, right? So the first thing that you wanna think about it, just bending that note, right? So, right, that's the first thing, okay? But if I'm playing in an actual context, like could be like this, okay? So once again, a G7, right? So it will be like this. Okay, I have to put something else, okay? And the first rule that I tell you guys is to put a vibrato at the end of each phrase, okay? So it has to be like an habit in some way, okay? So at the very ending of each phrase, just put a vibrato. Okay, just think about vibrato first. Okay, as you can hear, it's very different. It's very different between playing just the scale, right? Or the same lick with the vibrato. So, right? It's totally different, okay? So that's the first rule, guys. And this is probably the most underrated rule because every time we improvise, we don't even think about this stuff, right? So we always think about, okay, so that what is the scale? Whatever, I play the scale. No, you don't have to play just the scale, okay? So the first thing, the first thought would be, okay, what is the chord? Okay, so it would be G7 in this case. Okay, so as I learned in the Blues Guitar Essentials, I can play minor pentatonic, bending the minor up to the major third, right? So I'm within the harmony scheme, right? And then after that, I'll play a vibrato at the end of it, okay? So it's like, whatever I'm gonna play, I have to get that habit, right? And so on and so forth, okay? But let's move forward, okay? So let me know if you have any questions. It's pretty basic so far, right? But you know, it's all about creating a habit, guys, okay? So as we move forward, we're gonna have a lot of information, right? And that might be intimidating, right? So I would be like, okay, it's better that I'm playing in my comfort zone, right? It's not, totally not. So let's move ourselves outside the comfort zone and just take some notes. And when you play, okay, now I have to learn how to create that habit to play as a vibrato at the end of every phrase. And your lick, your phrasing will take shape, okay? So it's gonna be better, definitely, okay? I guarantee you guys, okay? So let's move forward. In the meantime, I say hi to Eric and Mateus and also Tommaso. Hi guys, great to see you. Okay, so let's move forward, okay? So right after the vibrato, the second thing that you wanna add is some flavor, some secret sauce, which is, we could be a slide, right? Something like this. So I'm still using the vibrato at the end of the phrase, but I'm starting with a slide, right? So whatever I play, I try to do a half step slide or a whole step slide, and I'm placing a vibrato at the end of it, right? Okay, so something like this on the jam track. Okay, so very easy. Okay, and as you can see, you know, the phrasing is taking shape. Okay, so it's really that simple. Okay, so we need to think about chord scales and all those elements that we need to, you know, get used to it. Okay, so but what about adding some other flavors like hammer-on and pull-offs? Okay, because these elements are very important for dynamics. Okay, we're going to talk about dynamics in another class, but you know, let's start to you know, use those stuff in our phrasing. Okay, especially when you are playing over a simple platform like could be this, right? G7 and playing a minor pentatonic. Okay, so let's try to add legato stuff. Okay, so don't play everything picking, okay, but try to do more legato stuff. So it's like slide, hammer on, pull off, and then vibrato, right? Something like this. Okay, could be like this. Or like okay, so let's try on the loop. And so on and so forth. Okay, so once again, you start in getting some music, right? So that's the secret. Okay, so you want to start from a tool, and think about how can I use that to create some music. Okay, so it's all about that. We're creating music, guys. So that is the secret. Okay, you're not just playing scales. Okay, scales are just a perspective, okay, that you want to use when you improvise, but it's not just that. Okay, so let me know if you have any question here. In the meantime, ciao Claudio. All right, so let me know if you have any questions. Just write a comment below. Okay, and feel free to share the class, guys. Okay, so this is totally free for everybody, totally open to everybody. I'm just trying to help people to, you know, introduce people to this beautiful guitar, this beautiful genre. Okay, and try to give it back what I'm receiving. Okay, I'm a lucky guy, and I'm trying just to give it back. Okay, so feel free to share it. Okay, so once again, let's move forward. Okay, so we haven't talked about bending. Okay, so let's talk about bending, which is a different shape of the same vibrato technique. Is how I used to think about bending. Okay, because if you think about a movement of the bending, it's more like this, right? Okay, and as I told you guys on the first class, when you are doing a bending, just try to use all the fingers together. Okay, so if you are bending with the pinky, don't do like this. Okay, just use all the fingers. Okay, and this is very useful, especially when you have to do like a vibrato like this. So you do the bending, and then you're playing a vibrato at the end of it. So it's more like right? So this is the bending, and this is the vibrato. So it's just a faster bending. The vibrato is a faster bending. Okay, so as we said, I can start with the slide, but also I can do the bending. And remember, at the end of each phrase, just plays a nice and clean vibrato, right? So it doesn't have to be like, right, like this or like this. No, it always have to be very clear, right? Something like this. Okay, so let's try that on the chord, on the loop. So slide, pull off, vibrato, and bending. Okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, so it's that simple. It's just that you need to get used to it, to all these elements in your playing. Okay, so at first you have to think about all this kind of stuff. Okay, so okay, the chord, once again, the chord is the context. Okay, so that gives us the information that we need to understand what is the scale that we need to use, right? So the relationship between chord and scale is really important. Okay, but right after that, okay, that is the scale. What am I going to do with that? Okay, I'm playing around that using all those fundamentals. I have a nice question here from Eric. Hi Eric, do you usually slide also this descending typically in your phrasing? It really depends, Eric. Okay, so usually when I start and I wanted to have a more jazzy sound, okay, I do like this. So usually a half step down from the target note. But I can also do something like this, right? Let me zoom it in. Right? But I use the descending slide more as an effect, I have to say, like this, right? This is more like an embellishment. So it really depends on what I'm playing. Okay, it's not just something that you get rid of, you know. It really depends. Okay, you can use both. Okay. All right, so let's move forward. Okay, we have a few minutes more. You're welcome, Eric. You're welcome. So in the previous class, okay, we talked about how to play minor pentatonic all over the fretboard, right? So if you haven't done it already, you can always go back and watch the last class that we did last week, okay, about minor pentatonic and how to use it all over the fretboard. But once we mastered those elements, we can always try to use them in different position, okay? So for instance, I showed you guys last time a minor pentatonic in the first position, right? With using also open string. Okay, and if I had to play the minor pentatonic here without any embellishment or any fundamentals, it would be like this, right? But if I'm playing like bending, minor third up to the major, amerone, pull off, and slide and vibrato, I have a lot of music in each position. Okay, so that is my piece of advice working on this kind of stuff. Okay, so don't be afraid to deepen every position. Okay, don't rush the process. Okay, you have to trust the process. Okay, so I'm playing here and I'm trying to get the most of the music that I can get from there. Okay, let me show you this. So I'm just holding this position, right? And I'm thinking the minor pentatonic with open strings, which is in G very, very easy to learn, right? Because it's open string and then third, 1 third, 1 third, right? And I'm just placing bending, hammer on, and vibrato. Pull off, vibrato if you like. And I keep going until I played everything I have there. Just squeezing the position, you know what I mean? And I'm just playing there. And also an important part of creating lick. We're going to talk about this in another class. We're going to deepen the topic. But another underrated topic is thinking about rhythm. Okay, so in this case we have 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, right? It's a 12/8, right? But I can always think about 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Okay, so I can think about 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Also 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So triplet. Or just 16. Okay, quadruplets. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Or a mix of them, right? Something like this. Using some rests. Okay, so once I squeezed the position, okay, I move forward and I do the same thing all over the fretboard, okay, and try to get the most music that I can get from that position, okay. So I move forward, okay, so I move forward. So this is another position. So just starting the minor pentatonic, G minor pentatonic from here. And I do slide, vibrato, pull off, hammer on, another position. So bending, a vibrato, pull off, slide, another position. One, two, three, four, 1 2 3 4. All triplets. Okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, so once again, what I'm doing is just thinking about the chord, thinking about the context, and also I'm thinking about what scale I'm using. And right after that, the next thought is going to be, okay, how can I squeeze that scale, that position to get the most out of it? Okay, I have to create some music out of scale. Okay, otherwise it doesn't have any value, right? So it just, the scale is just a perspective, you know. So I can use a triad, I can use a scale, I can use an arpeggio, I can use a combination of them, whatever. Okay, so it's just different perspective that I can use to create my own sound. Okay, and for all the intermediate players, of course, we're using this method on a minor pentatonic. Okay, but we can always do the same thing on every scale, on every context. Okay, for instance, let me show you this before we say goodbye. Okay, so for instance, if we're playing, let's say on a Dorian, okay, I can do the same thing. Okay, so let's use a different chord. Okay. So slide and vibrato, hammer on, pull off, bending and vibrato, bending, slide, vibrato, pull off, hammer on, and so on and so forth. Just start as simple as you can get. Okay, I can use the same thing on, let's say, a diminished, right? So once again, you can use the method on every context, basically. Okay, and this is a great way to start practicing scale. Okay, because when you think about when you think just about scale, okay, it could be boring, you know. Instead, try to think about scales, intervals, whatever, triads, arpeggios, once again as perspectives that you can use to create music. Okay, so just use a loop pedal, you record a chord and you start jamming, thinking about the context, thinking about the scale, but also try to implement all those stuff, you know, and try to create music out of it. Okay, which is the most important thing. Okay, we're making music, guys. We're not playing scales. Okay, so we have to be aware of what is going on the harmony, on the fretboard. It's a you know, a big thing at first. Okay, because once again you have to think about a lot of stuff. I know that, but once you get a new mindset, your playing is going to be totally different. Okay, 100% guaranteed. Okay, guys, so I think that's it for today, and thanks one more time to watching this blues guitar essential series. Okay, once again, I'm gonna be here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, 10:30 Eastern time, 4:30 p.m. Rome time. And once again, if you haven't done it already, you can also watch the previous classes, okay, and that we just started last week, okay. And I see you guys on Wednesday, okay, 10:30 once again. And if you haven't done it already, check my Modern Blues Guitar Academy out. You can get the link in the description, okay. And if you have any questions, once again, you can always hit me up. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? I'm finding. Okay, here it is. Okay, you can shoot me an email here. Okay, so Davide at davidepannozzo.com. Okay, and this is the Academy, GUITARlab.academy. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you. I hope to see you on Wednesday, 10:30, for another class. Okay. In the meantime, practice. Okay, that's the secret. I see you guys soon.